Welcome back. In continuation with the first video on recognizing dispositions, skills, attitudes, knowledge and understanding of children, hope you would remember the question asked towards its end. This video would submit the strategies to be used by an ECE educator to encourage the development of positive dispositions. At the end of this video, you will be able to identify strategies to promote certain positive dispositions, namely independence, resilience, concentration, problem solving, perseverance, creativity, curiosity, and collaboration. First and foremost, to get into the practice of encouraging positive dispositions, the facilitator should be aware of the dispositions that have a positive impact on the child's overall ability to learn and progress. As a next step, she should plan for an environment that reinforces experiences and interactions to support the development of positive dispositions. The following section would deal with the strategies to be followed by the educator to encourage certain positive dispositions in children in the ECE setting. Before getting into the actual strategies, let us understand specific procedures to be followed by the educator to set up an environment to foster disposition. They are model dispositions, valuing dispositions, offer opportunities to develop dispositions by providing adequate space, time and equipment, consider individual variations and needs by providing extra support to the child in need. And now on to the strategies to encourage the first disposition, independence. To develop the positive disposition independence, the educator should provide a safe and secure environment for the child to be independent. This can be achieved by providing accessible labeled storage cabinets and boxes, low sinks for hand washing, baby-friendly toilets, low-level drinking water taps, etc. Also, provide a space to keep their personal belongings. The second aspect is that make available specific tasks for the children to develop responsibility. For a child to be responsible, delegate certain tasks in rotation to each child. For example, switching on and off the lights, helping the educator or assistant to set up the activities, distributing mid-morning or evening drinks, tidying the place after activities, etc. At times, permit children to decide the type of activities they want to indulge in. For example, ask the child himself to choose whether he wanted to get indoor or stay outdoor for some more time. Allow the child to work on a problem and solve by himself. Wait and then offer help in the form of guidance. For example, in solving a puzzle, ask the child to specify the portion he wanted to have help after allowing him to manipulate it for some time. And now, on to the strategies to encourage resilience. To encourage resilience, the educator should model ways of coping up with failures and disappointment gracefully. When the educator proves to the child that failures are inevitable, the child realizes the truth of life and accepts failure with grace. For example, the previous evening of a picnic day, there was a heavy downpour and the educator feels that the park to be visited would be wet and decides to postpone the picnic. The educator, by acknowledging the children's feelings, can suggest an alternative strategy of having a picnic inside the classroom by exhibiting all play materials and allowing the child to play with it as pre-play session. Use drama, role play, puppetry that depicts real situations to model and enhance the positive disposition resilience. And how to encourage the disposition concentration. To improve concentration, the educator should indicate that he or she values the disposition concentration whenever exhibited by the child. To show that the educator values the concentration that a child exhibits, she should comment on the same. For example, a child when observed to spend a long time to complete a task, the educator can say, "Krishna, I saw you working very hard to complete the puzzle task. I appreciate you. Great job." Here, the educator informs the child that he is noticed and appreciated. This in turn serves as a reinforcer for the child to develop the positive disposition concentration. Now on to the strategies to enhance problem solving skill among children. Problem solving is one of the most important positive disposition and can be developed by the educator by means of encouraging the children to solve the problems for themselves. For example, ask a child, what can we do to distribute the mid-morning juice as our assistant is on leave? The second way is to offer opportunities to think of various alternatives to solve a problem. For any problem, do not provide a solution immediately. Allow them to think on their own and come up with other options and solve the problem by themselves. Now on to the strategy to encourage the most important positive disposition, what we call it as perseverance. For the perseverance to develop in a young child, the educator should encourage children to try again and again to complete a task. For example, offer compliments saying, yes, you have almost reached. One more step to go. You can finish it. Moreover, provide adequate space and time for the children when they are into an activity, and moreover, make sure that nobody disturbs them when they are in action. Now on to the strategies to encourage curiosity. To encourage curiosity, the educator should immediately respond to the child's queries, notice the interest of the child and encourage them to ask questions by indulging into an activity of their interest, provide opportunities to experience and explore various objects and environment and ask them to share their feeling, model curiosity by showing a willingness to learn, show interest in lots of different things. For example, manifest interest in playing music, singing, gardening, drawing, etc. And offer novel and fascinating tasks along with certain familiar tasks for the children to be brought to the line of learning. Now on to the strategies to encourage creativity. For a child to foster creativity, educators should provide experiences for the children to play with natural elements like sand, water, twigs, shells, stones, etc. Offer opportunities to play with both open-ended and closed-ended play materials. An example of an open-ended play material is wooden blocks, with which the child can either make a building, a tunnel, a bridge, or anything of their interest. Whereas the closed-ended play materials can be a puzzle, which after manipulation can give only one right answer. Permit children to use materials in more than one way. For example, a book from a book corner can be used as a base for erecting tall building with blocks. Appreciate the child's innovation by allowing them to combine two or more materials together. Narrate them stories with an appropriate aid and ask them to complete the story. Set up a library corner and allow the children to go and spend time by looking at the pictures at least, if not reading. Then the next positive disposition, collaboration. For the disposition collaboration to develop in a child, group work is the best way. Specific strategies that an educator should adopt to encourage collaboration are: boost interaction among the group by providing small group tasks, allow them to work in pairs so that the child learns from each other, mix up the pair for the next time as the children would get a different experience, develop the helping attitude among the children. For example, when an educator questions Devi, she can even point out to Arun to help Devi. And now to conclude, the facilitator through meticulous planning has to provide learning experiences and interactions for every child enrolled in the ECE center and foster desirable dispositions. Certain strategies to foster specific positive dispositions were put forth to you. By adopting those strategies, the educator can help in the overall development of a child by making him manifest positive attitudes and values, develop a deeper understanding and a thorough knowledge, and most importantly, demonstrate the skills learned. However, the job of an educator should not stop with the ECE setting alone. The positive disposition of a child need to be encouraged consistency. Hence, the parents of the children have to be made aware of the importance of supporting the strategies to be adopted to develop positive dispositions at home. Hope to meet you in the next module. Thank you.